Alright, I'm just gonna skip through this.
Okay,
Picks and
so
bans.
this is poonDemonicEgg and Errylander. This is a tutorial on how to win bot lane, low ELO, Ashe, and Taric. We're going to be going over laning phase, warding, zoning, how to CS, and communication with your lane partner. So picks and bans went pretty easy. No one was trolling, which is always nice. We actually decided to try to do a level 1 cheese, but completely didn't work because they also tried to level 1
Yeah, they tried
cheese,
to
so it was
level
pretty
1
funny.
cheese with Vade and Sona, which, like, should never happen. But they tried anyway, so we couldn't cheese them.
It was a pretty funny setup. They actually ended up getting first blood on us, if I recall. I believe I got first
Yeah,
blooded.
they did.
But then you proceeded to get a double kill and double buffs, so it
Yeah.
was worth it. It's magic, Dash Destroyer. It's magic. That's what
What?
it is. He's like, it's not LOL replay and it's not a live game, so what is it? It's magic, my friend. So you got to know with Shaco that he's pretty annoying to deal with level 1. He almost actually got us a couple of times, but just went way, way too deep and ended up costing his team a lot.
I need to skip this. This Cho'Gath's computer is just barely loading. Look at this guy. Someone messaging me? Oh, okay. Alright, fixed it.
So Ashe and all her sexiness, woed Ashe, bedazzled Taric. Starting Doran's Blade, kind of risky. I mean, Poon obviously isn't going to make many mistakes, so that's why he did it. And it paid off for us. We really bullied them early on. Our plan was that they would be helping Shaco leash and then run right through here. I was going to start with Shatter, and then with the crit from Ashe as passive, because Vayne and Sona both have really low starting HP, we were just going to completely destroy one of them at level 1 when they walk by, but they ended up actually camping in our river bush, and yeah, it was a pretty funny start to the game actually. Minions finally spawn. Uh, our jungler's Hecarim. He didn't really play much of a part. I think he came down here once, but he just saw, like, he played it correctly. He saw that we were bullying them and we were pushed up, so he just like stayed trying to help other lanes. He gets a good leash at wolves and a blue buff. Always help your jungler. He'll appreciate it. So just to see where they're coming, I just put my Explorer ward out. Just a quick 60-second ward. Cost me nothing. So I know kind of where they went. And we gave up a couple of CS here. And then we finally see Vayne come and poke her head out. So I didn't take a skill, so I changed, instead of going with Shatter, I went with Dazzle. and throw a ward to get vision, and then I get a stun. We win that trade pretty handedly. Since I know Shaco's an early ganker, I went and just like put a ward out there so we'd have a little bit of vision early, and then just get in position to zone them out again. Yeah, caught Sona with a stun there, and for some reason she flashed. I thought that was pretty comical, but yeah, so she warded. Always buy pinks as a support. Controlling the bush is just so important. So now they have no idea what's going on. I have 2 wards down because I had to use the pink there, but it was well worth it. I think my starting items for this was 2 pink wards, a 3 sight wards, and a health pot, I believe. So I went with 5 wards start. Didn't buy any items. Here comes Shaco. Misses the condemn, exhaust flash. So we burned like 2 of their flashes there, and then Shaco just tries to commit way too much, and then Sona does the exact same thing, just continue to take tower hits. And after 3 consecutive tower hits go out, they do consecutively more damage. So keep that in mind whenever you're tower diving. I mean, you should never tower dive at level 2. That's just a good rule of thumb.
Also, as the AD carry, if they're all chasing your support, when you're running back to turret, make sure you're kiting and doing damage while you're backing off, because that damage could save your support or pick you up kills later. Like, don't just run back, just kite and do damage.
I think it was like a 30-minute game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes. So
we ended it pretty quick.
Like as the AD carry, like especially on Ashe, since I've longer ranged most AD carries, like my job is just to hit CS, and then when my support like Tarek starts a play, I just need to follow up on it. Like I don't really need to do anything. It's like make sure I hit CS, and when someone comes in range, I auto attack and volley them.
You just
Like
want to make sure you're in a position when he does go to make a play that you can follow it up. Like he's never too far away that he can't volley or do something to like expand on it.
look how like so pretty much I'm farming and I'm using my peripheral vision to just see what Tarek and Vayne are doing. So whenever either of them like get too close to each other, then like an engage is probably gonna start.
And I just poked my head out of the bush there a couple times. Oh, and here comes Tarek. Or Shaco again. And we kite him. I just try to stand in front of him to like creep block him and walk into him and stuff to slow him down as much as possible. And again, he dives the turret. So yeah, just the turret dives weren't going well for Shaco today.
See, so Tarek's just like controlling. He like Tarek's doing all the bush like fighting. I'm just I'm just CSing. Like if a support knows what he's doing, it's real easy for the AD carry.
See, and before I placed that pink ward, I told Ash that I'm putting a pink down because they pinked ours. So it's like we're gonna have a battle for this pink, and we just traded pink wards. But if not, I would have just lost my pink ward for nothing. So always important that you're on the same page.
So right there, uh, I told Eri to ward those 2 spots I just pinged, so that we could see Shaco coming like way earlier. because his blink, if you ward where we have the wards right now, he can usually like blink around, and like by the time you see him, he's it's too late. So we just want to ward deeper so we can see him.
And by us being so pushed up and pressuring the bot lane the whole time, it forced Shaco to help his bot lane, and that in turn ended up with us applying a lot of pressure to other lanes because we were constantly pulling their jungler away. So I know Sona's not here yet, so Ashe is more than safe, so I just tell her, like, I'm going to war, don't get yourself killed, basically. So now with the blue buff, with that ward, I know that I can see Shaco coming from just about everywhere. So perfectly set up arrow into the stun combo. He cleansed. Vayne played that poorly. He could have lived there. The arrow stun from a further distance is like 3 seconds as opposed to Terex, which is now only 1.2, I think. So instead of cleansing my stun, if he would have cleansed the Ashe stun, he would have lived no problem, or she would have lived.
Yeah, so this applies to every lane in solo queue. You want to win your lane and make sure you're pushing it. You don't want to just win lane and freeze it in the middle, because when you push the lane, it just creates pressure on the map. And pressure in one lane, like overwhelming pressure in one lane, is how you carry the rest of your team. Like I've been playing Teemo top in solo queue, and I'll just like mushroom the whole top side of the map and push to the inner turret myself. And even if I like die, my team will get dragons and bot turrets, and it'll be worth it.
So if minions started attacking me when I was standing in this bush, that's a great way to tell if like that's warded or not when they start attacking you. So, and we see Shaco at blue buff. So we kind of know we thought about going up to kill him and then just decided, no, we'll let him fail another gank. But Dash Destroyer, when your support doesn't kind of know what they're doing and they're just like standing behind you and not like applying any pressure, you just honestly you just have to play to that style and just like try to CS as best as you can and just play really passively. And if you have to, buy a lot of consumables for yourself if you're getting poked out a lot.
Yeah, if your support is standing behind you, don't try to play aggressive, because like that's what we're showing you here, because then you're gonna go in alone and die 1v2. Oh, it always just like especially in solo queue, if your support is probably not gonna follow up on you, then don't try to make plays. Just try to hit perfect CS.
So just completely zoning this Vayne from even considering coming up to get CS. I know that our tri-bush is now empty, so I figured like the only way Shaco could possibly get us was if he came around from the mid jungle and then walked through our jungle. So just to be safe, I went and threw one down there, and then I went up and rewarded the blue buff, and he just showed in mid, so I knew I was safe. Like walking into the jungle like that alone is really dangerous. So always like kind of be wary of just going and placing wards by your lonesome.
Notice how I can control Vayne right now just by auto attacking her whenever she comes up to CS.
When I just let Ashe just kind of sit there and I just hide in the bush for a little while, I'm hoping that they're going to try to engage on them and then we can just completely turn it. So there's Shaco again, blue buff. Once again, our ward spots him out. I think we try to bait this, I believe.
No, we just back. I get my BF
Back for
sword.
this one. Oh, right. So once again, Shaco, that's the fourth time he's been in our lane. And I always, like, you can't see my for me, but I always tell the enemy team as a support where their jungler is. So then Jax knows that he's fine. Hecarim can go counter jungle the top half of his jungle if he wants. Oh yeah, Hecarim makes a nice play there. So that's a good tip as a jungler too. Like, if you see that he's in the bottom half of his jungle and you're up doing your blue buff or something, you can easily just go and take his big wraith, like no problem. Yeah, for long range auto attacks, it's really just you have to know your character that you're playing, because if you don't know what her range is, like you have no hope of like landing that auto attack. So I saw Shaco put that bush or that ward down there, so I just pinked it just to stomp that ward out and just continue to deny them all vision in the bottom lane. Every time I go back when I'm supporting, as a rule of thumb, if I don't have a pink ward, I buy one.
So there
So
again,
once
just
again,
like
yeah.
make sure you kite when you're going back.
I didn't think that Sona had flash up there. That's why I went for the we would have had that kill, but that darn box. So while Vayne and Shaco are dead again, I go and I ward the blue buff once again because I know it's safe because we just killed Shaco and Vayne. Then walk back to lane, and I believe I back. Yeah, I back here. All Shaco's do. They talk and all chat when they fail a gank. With the new champs that gank across crazy walls, should I buy more wards or deeper wards? I assume you're referring to like Zach and even like Vi, people who can just like get through walls really easy, Jarvan. Pretty much your standard wards, like you can't really help a gank that comes from the tri-bush like behind their tower. So that's just stuff like you have to be like know like is coming. We pick up an easy triple kill here, I believe.
It's like if you can ward the blue buff like what we're doing now, it's really good.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet because it gives vision of their jungler all the time. But like I said, that's a really like dangerous ward to go after. So you have to make sure that you know like either the enemy jungler's up top and you can go place that ward safely, or in our case we killed him and then I can know I can get that ward in there. Because if you walk into his jungle as a support, I mean even Tarek, who's pretty strong and has a stun, like Shaco could probably still 1v1 me, especially if my AD carry wasn't going to follow. But pretty much like as long as you're warding Tribush and up by Dragon, you're super
So
safe with
like
just
if you're
those
pushing
ward
your lane,
placements.
you can tell your support to like do what Tarek just did and drop a ward in this try. That'll also stop them from jumping over the wall. Like you'll see them. Just like if you're pushing the lane, just make sure you walk up and ward that.
Well, if you got Dash Destroyer, if you have a support who's like playing really aggressive and you don't want to follow that aggression, like you just want to passively farm, like you don't think you're strong enough to trade with them and win a duel, you pretty much you just got to tell your support like I'm not comfortable with trying to fight them, like I don't think we can win a fight 1v1. So like you either have to just tell him don't go on something unless it's they're way out of position, like just let me farm for a late game, and you just got to hope that they're willing to do that.
At this level, what you could do is make sure you pick an AD carry that synergizes with your support so that if they do go aggressive, you know you can win just because of the matchup. So for example, if like your support picks Tarek, then just pick like Graves or something like that, so that if he does go in, then like you pretty much like there's no reason to not go in. So like if they're retarded, just like follow them and you'll win anyway because Graves Tarek is like super easy to win trades with. Like
You just
usually
have to
you can
use your best
outplay.
judgment.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, you have to always be like you want to position yourself as the AD carry to the point where you can easily move into position if your support does try to go in on something. You always have to be in a place that you can follow it up and do something. So yeah, Vayne right there tumbles in, and as soon as I saw her tumble was gone, I just instantly snared her or stunned her, and then she melted.
So right now we're just pushing turrets because that's like the most important thing in the game. And in solo queue, for some reason, people don't like to take turrets. So you just gotta do it for them.
Yeah, we thought about just going behind her here, but we didn't know where the rest of their team was. So we were just like, okay, we'll just do this the old-fashioned way, push the lane. If you're duo queuing in bot lane, is it better to be aggressive? It it's really just situational, like on how your lane's going. I mean, if you're going poorly, obviously you don't want to be aggressive, but if you think that you and your support have like good synergy and you're like both on the same page, yeah, you should always try to zone and be aggressive.
The the thing is the thing is to win any lane, you have to be aggressive, but you have to be aggressive in different ways. So for example, if we're doing Graves Tarek, to win our lane, we have to be aggressive by like stun comboing to kill them. And if we are doing like Tarek Ash or Tarek Caitlyn, we have to be aggressively poking. We're not gonna all in them because we can't all in them. Like we'll lose all in fights, but we're aggressively poking them to control the lane. So it's like it's two different ways to control the lane, but you have to be aggressive either way. Like when you're passive, you're not controlling the game. So like that's when games get out of hand in solo queue. Like
Clutch
if
heal
you're
from
playing
Tarek,
like if you're playing
saving Cassiopeia.
Caitlyn against Vayne and you're like passively farming, you're gonna lose the lane because Vayne outskills you.
Yeah, never just auto lock Caitlyn if you see like Vayne, because unless you know how to properly play Caitlyn versus Vayne, there's no point in playing them. Too many times I see someone, oh, it's Vayne, so I'm going to play Caitlyn, and then they just stand on their half of the minion line and just let them passively farm their creeps and you farm theirs and you poke them every now and again. Like you have to be in front and zone them from their creeps. Like if you don't win by at least 50 or more CS in lane as Caitlyn, then you lost lane. Bronze. Can Twitch Tarek get aggressive versus someone like Caitlyn? Well, it just depends what Caitlyn has as a support. Like you have to know like if it's a sustain lane, if it's an aggressive lane, like if it's a poke lane, like there's all different kinds of different things to like.
Yeah, never when you're talking about bot lane, never ask if a Taric like Twitch can go against Kaylin because it's a 2v2 lane. So you always are taking out their bot lane comp, not just AD carry. Okay, so right here, like so stop this. Okay, so we want to fight, right? And the team decides they want to dive, but since we're here to win the game, I just sit here taking the turret. Like, even if these two guys die from diving because I'm not helping them, if we get the turret, it's okay.
Yeah, like kills aren't everything, especially in a game where I think we're winning like 19-3 right now. No one on their team is worth any amount of gold. So getting a tower or getting a kill that's going to give you 50 gold in return, I mean, you can be the judge of that, I guess, but it's always better to get the tower.
Yeah, and like, see, like, all you need is one person to just take the turret. Like, just be that one person in the solo queue game. If everyone else, like, if your team wants to dive, but you start auto-hitting a turret, usually at least one or two people will stay with you. Like, Cassiopeia was hitting the turret with me. So if Jax and Hecarim died, I would just be like whatever, you know. Like, the turret's just so much more important than both of them.
Ash just tells me she wants to back. There's no point in me going any further without her, so I follow suit. Once again, bought another pink ward. I figured we were going to go try to do Baron soon. We have really strong map control right now. They have only our top turret. We have their second and third tier in mid and bottom. So we're really ahead of them in map control right now, which sets up a really easy Baron play. So Cassio kind of gets choked here, and I just hide around that corner, and then I realize that they had a ward there because they saw me, obviously. Stun out the Vayne, and Cho'Gath just doesn't. The Vayne's too far behind because she got stunned and could up with the Cho.
I mean, at this point, we're just so much stronger that whenever they're out of turret range, we can just kill them. And that's why I really like Ashe for solo queue, because once you're winning, it's really hard to throw, because you just like initiate fights over and over again and just keep winning them. Like, I hate games where like when I'm not, for example, I'm playing Tristana. If we like get really far ahead, and the enemy overextends outside of turret range, I still can't initiate on them. So it kind of lets them like stall out a bit more. But right now I can just keep applying pressure. Like they'll never leave turret range because of my arrow. So right there, our team wanted to do Baron, and I just told them to just get a pink for Baron first. Always get a pink when you're doing objectives. So like when early game dragons, just make sure you do pinks and all that.
So if you're in a duo lane and you have an aggressive support, what do you suggest you do if the AD carry doesn't want to follow it up? Um, if you're playing the support, there's not much you can really like. If your AD carry doesn't want to help you, like, there's nothing you can do or say to like make that person decide they're gonna change their mind, really.
The thing is like
So
everyone in the game, if you're playing like if you're playing a really good support, like if you're playing it really well and you set up like obvious like kills on someone, then the AD carry is gonna follow up. Like when they don't follow up, it's because they're questioning your play. So you just have to make it like really obvious that like it's a good position to fight. So like I'll see people like Leona, they'll like they'll try to get a grab on the enemy when there's like 20 more minions on their side or like it's under turret. So like don't do stuff like that. Just make sure you have more minions on your side so that they would take the minion damage when you fight. Like doing little things like that will make it more obvious that it's like okay to follow up.
yeah, like really, you just got to communicate with your support. Like bot lanes just thrives off of like being on the same page because if you have no idea what the AD carry or the support, vice versa, is going to be doing, then like you may as well just be in a 2v1 situation. So you should just always tell them like if you're planning on doing something, like explain to them if you're playing blitz, like explain to them how you're gonna like try to go at it, or like if you're playing Leona, like just always be in a position. Like you just have to tell them like what you're planning on doing.
Yeah, when I'm playing like Leona in solo queue, when the like right when the game starts, I'll just tell the AD carry like at level 3 I'm gonna try to initiate, so follow up. And usually they'll be like, okay, because no one rages at like 0 minutes. So you just like tell them your plan, like level 3, like that's when we'll start going aggressive, and then they'll like usually understand that. So when I go at level 3 or 4, and they follow up, we'll get a kill and it just snowballs from there.
Is stunning your AD carry when they're sitting in a warded brush and running up and shattering not obvious? Yeah, it's obvious, but like you it depends what kind of position they're in because you have to like if they're way far behind you and they're completely out of their range. I mean, the stun's only 1 second. Like you have to make sure that the your AD carry is in a position. If you just stun someone and he doesn't see it coming and he has to take, 3 or 4 strides to get there, he's not going to get there in time. So that's not his fault. That's more your fault for uh, just like not being in the same position.
Yeah, like don't stun chatter unless your AD carry is close enough to follow up on it.
Yeah, playing against a Blitzcrank and a Nidalee, exactly. Just ward your lane brush and don't even try because you're just so susceptible to spears and hooks and everything in that situation. So
The thing is, if your AD carry is CSing in the back and you stun and shatter them when you're like so far ahead of them, chances are you're already zoning them, so there's no reason to initiate a fight. Because if your AD carry is able to hit CS and like you're so far ahead that your AD carry can't follow up, then they're probably away from the minion wave. So like initiating for that, it's like you're overextending instead of just zoning them.
just because the enemy AD carry is in a bad position where you can make a play on them, if your AD carry is not in a good position, you're going to be on the losing end of that because the AD carry will do a lot more damage to you than you do to them. So before you make the decision to stun and shatter that person, for example, you have to take a second and be like, either ping or look where your AD carry is and say, oh no, she's too far away, she can't follow this up. she gets a free pass this time. If you're getting zoned, how can you counter that to get some CS and experience? You just got to farm under tower. Like you just have to wait, let it push to tower, and just farm passively under your tower and hope that always buy pink ward so you can so your jungler can come down and gank for you. Like if you're pinking the lane or the tri bush, they can come in and easily gank if you're pushed to tower. Like that's how you counter getting zoned. Shaco tried his hardest to come down and because we were pushed the whole game, but nothing came out of it every time because they extended too far. Instead of just, pushing us out of lane and getting us to the point where we had to back, he overextended and got himself killed. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It's always
If you
worth
need
money.
a pink, like if you're getting zoned because you don't have a pink, then you might as well buy it.
Yeah. If your support doesn't want to buy the pink ward, the way I look at it is, okay, if I'm the AD carry and he's not buying pinks, I'll buy a pink ward, and then I tell my jungler, okay, no wards bought, like free kills. So the 125 gold that you spent on that, if you get the kill, it'll turn into 300 plus gold.
Yeah.
So you're still making out
And
on
if you're
money.
you're going for like dragon or baron and no one has a pink, you can buy a pink on any role just so you can do the objectives. Like the objective is gonna pay for the pink itself.
Um, I think that's it. Well, if no one has any more questions, this was Demonic Egg and Errylander playing duo bot lane, AD carry support. It was fun.